Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Hope you're all having a great day and that you are all doing well. This was actually came out last night, but I didn't have the strength in me to make a video. So this has been making the rounds as of the last couple of hours. Nearly 6 months after parting ways with its auditor, Tether has finally produced a third-party report proclaiming that its cryptocurrency is fully backed by US dollars. The state of Tether's reserves has been the subject of controversy for months, with online critics claiming that the company has been issuing more tokens than it had dollars in the bank, printing money essentially. Tether has consistently denied this, but has not produced conclusive evidence that it is reserved one for one. The matter has broad implications for the crypto market, well beyond the holders of the so-called stablecoin known as USDT, whose market cap stood at $2.6 billion on Tuesday. For starters, many have alleged that Bitfinex, the cryptocurrency exchange that shares common owners and managers with Tether, uses the USDT to artificially drive up the price of Bitcoin. An academic paper released last week supported this view, and the Commodities Future Trading Commission reportedly subpoenaed Bitfinex and Tether in December. Well, we know for a fact, you can look at the charts, that every single time that Tether was printed, the Bitcoin price rose up, but the issue is if they had enough Tether in order to back up their $2.6 billion Tether amount in US dollars. Also, USDT, which despite the lingering doubts generally trades around $1, has functioned as a substitute for US dollars. Traders use it to quickly move money between crypto exchanges rather than using bank wire transfers, which can be slow and hard to come by. Given USDT's importance in the ecosystem, then an independent confirmation that the coin is in fact fully collateralized might be welcomed news, undermining the manipulation claims and bolstering market confidence. But the 3-page memorandum released on Wednesday is probably not going to settle the debate, given its ample disclaimers and limited scope. First off, the report is not an audit. It was prepared by a law firm known as Free Sporkin and Sullivan LLP, FSS, which is not an accounting firm. That's not for the lack of trying, according to Stu Hogna, who is Tether's general counsel. The bottom line is that an audit cannot be obtained, Hogner told CoinDesk, claiming that this problem is not unique to his company, but one faced by the entire cryptocurrency industry. And on that, I will actually agree with him. Because it's not easy. I'm sure you've noticed as well, banks don't really care for the crypto system. And a lot of other companies have noted that they do not want to even get involved with cryptocurrencies or cryptocurrency companies because they don't want any type of backlash. They don't want something 5 years down the line, because there's no regulatory clarity, that pretty much in 2023, you don't want to receive a letter saying, in 2018, you helped this company. Can you please show us your information that you used for them? And then come to find out that they were selling securities. They were selling something that no one really knows what it was. And then that company ends up getting fined millions of dollars simply because they ended up helping, Tether or whoever it might be. So on that, I will actually agree with him. On that, he went on to say, he said the barriers are to getting audited are simply too big to overcome right now, and not just for us. Those barriers include a steep learning curve for auditors in an emerging industry, accounting standards that predated the advent of cryptocurrency, creating uncertainty about how the rules apply, and the resulting need for auditors to exercise judgment, which is the anathema to a lot of large accounting firms. As a CPA, I understand that, Hogner said. In this situation, he said, we've gone for the next best thing. I mean, you got to do something, especially when people are talking about what you've created. Although FSS used different procedures than an auditor would, Hogner said he argued that the key conclusions are similar to what an auditor would generate: a snapshot of bank balances at a point in time. On June 1st, it said, the law firm said it is confident that Tether had more money in the bank than tokens it circulated, specifically $2.55 billion US dollars, held at two separate institutions to 2.54 billion Tether, but the report says nothing about the level of collateralization on any date before or since. As it stands now, it appears, because of these auditors, that Tether is completely real. I don't put it out of the realm of, complete possibility that there may be 10 people behind Tether who are very heavy-handed, who, while they believe in the ecosystem, are heavily invested in cryptocurrencies, who want to see it thrive. Like, I could definitely see them coming up with a 2.5 billion US dollars, but the fact that it took so long was kind of the, whatever. It takes a long time to do things in the cryptocurrency space when it comes to getting audited or to finding out if something is actually real, because you need someone who's not involved in the cryptocurrency space specifically to look at your books to see if everything is correct, because you don't want to have someone from inside the crypto space saying, oh yeah, this is definitely real. Then no one, you need like an outside auditor, if you will. As it stands, Tether is apparently real. I don't know what this is going to do to the market. I don't know what's going to happen when they end up printing more Tether, because I think even when they printed more Tether before, I think the market actually went down a tiny bit. This was like a week and a half ago, because people had lost faith in Tether. But don't forget, there's still going to be this year at least 8 or 9 other stable coins that will be coming out. And this is what I think at least will be a major factor in the price of the cryptocurrency market going back up. But like I said, as of now, from the information that we have, it appears that Tether is real. Next up, Goldman Sachs is in the news. Goldman Sachs CEO Lloyd Blankfein reiterated his positive stance on cryptocurrencies in an interview with Bloomberg at the Economic Club of New York. That sounds fancy. When asked about the chances of crypto to become a real issue, Blankfein said that the adoption of cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin could happen similarly to how the adoption of paper money, which replaced gold and silver coins, has happened. Addressing the evolution of money, Blankfein pointed out the common features between paper money and crypto, apparently implying that they both do not have intrinsic value, noting that paper money has managed to become the main form of money regardless of that. He then rhetorically asked, why couldn't you have a consensus currency? According to Blankfein, it is too arrogant to argue that cryptocurrencies cannot be adopted on a large scale only because they are uncomfortable or unfamiliar. 2017, Blankfein made a similar statement claiming that people first distributed paper currency and later accepted it. He then implied that Bitcoin could be adopted as a means of exchanging value in the future, even if it is not widely accepted today. It's almost like, what's the phrase? Praise from Caesar, I think it is. He's done like a back and forth when it comes to cryptocurrencies, especially on Bitcoin before. I always believe when someone says something like this, when they go out in public and say it in front of millions of other people, they tend to have a large amount of cryptocurrencies. And if you're so rich, I think it gets to a point where you don't really care if it succeeds or not. There are a lot of really rich people and really rich families who buy like $5-10 million of cryptocurrency at a time, but they're also worth like $950 million. So if crypto fails, they don't really care. If crypto does a 20x, they're just richer. But it's nice to hear news like this, especially when it kind of paints cryptocurrency in a broader, nicer light than it normally would be amongst certain people. This one's interesting. UK-based cryptocurrency futures trading platform Crypto Facilities is launching a Litecoin derivative product. According to an announcement on Wednesday, the new US dollar denominated service will go live on Friday, June 22nd, I believe that is tomorrow, and will allow investors to long or short future contracts that have Litecoin as the underlying collateral with weekly, monthly, and quarterly maturities. Timo Schläfer, who is the CEO of Crypto Facilities, said the decision is a result of having received strong client demand for Litecoin contracts. He said, we believe our LTC dollar futures contracts will increase price transparency, liquidity, and efficiency in the cryptocurrency markets. Litecoin creator Charlie Lee commented in the announcement that by opening up Litecoin trading to more institutional investors, the new product would increase the cryptocurrency's liquidity and make it easier for people to get in and out of Litecoin. The move comes just a month after the firm launched Ethereum-based futures contracts and marks a new addition to several crypto derivative products that are apparently tied to trading on the platform, including Bitcoin and XRP. There've been a lot of, I think it's very difficult for a lot of companies to actually get into ETFs or to be able to launch ETFs. I don't think one crypto ETF has been launched yet in the States. So it seems everyone is trying to get into the market in some way, and they're doing it by futures trading. We've seen, or we've heard, or it's been noted by institutions what has happened to the price of Bitcoin because of futures tradings. So let's see if this ends up happening to Litecoin, to XRP, and to Ethereum, because now they all have some type of futures trading contracts attached to them. Yeah, I mean, when you can't have ETFs, because a lot of the one of the main things is that the people who are vying for ETFs, they want ETFs because they want to actually deal physically, their digital numbers on the screen, but they want to deal physically in cryptocurrencies, i.e. they want to have the actual coins that will then be pegged to the actual ETF. But when you can't have that, you have to have contracts that are then pegged to cryptocurrency that you don't actually own. So it's kind of all a mess. I think if we had, or when we do eventually have, ETFs, whether that be in Europe or in America, I think it'll have a nice effect on the price, because this will then open up the door for other institutional investors to start launching ETFs, which I assume when the Winklevoss or any other people actually get an ETF launched, the same exact week we're going to hear about 50 other institutions who are also going to be launching legal then ETFs, and the crypto market is probably going to go up very high because they're going to be buying as much physical, once again, numbers, coins as they possibly can in order to back up these ETFs and other retirement funds that they're going to be having. Very, very interesting time indeed. Just need to, once again, wait for the CFTC and the SEC to finally get it together. Next up, I thought this one was very funny as I was reading it. Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong says he enjoys Bitcoin price downturns as it distracts those not making progress. In a series of tweets aimed at the employees of the United States' largest cryptocurrency exchange and wallet provider, Armstrong compared 3 cycles of Bitcoin prices from 2013, 2014, and 2017, respectively. Noting that the market's leader up and down cycles, he commented, he said, "After many years of this, I've come to enjoy the down cycles in crypto prices more. It gets a lot of people who are in it for the wrong reasons, and it gives us an opportunity to keep making progress while everyone else gets distracted." I liked, or I thought this article was funny because I think you have to be incredibly rich in order to say that you like crypto downtrends when the prices are down, because I'm pretty sure about 95% of the market actually does not share the same sentiment. I don't think many other people like when the market is down, because it is a good downtrend for the market. So this has been noted a couple of times before by many other crypto enthusiasts, market analysts, whatever you want to call them, people on CNBC pointing at charts with sticks. They all note that in 2013, the price was flat and then shot up. 2014 shot up. 2017, this was exactly what happened. I remember around this time, because I remember the prices went up. Everyone got a little annoyed because the prices went back down, went back up again. And there's always this point where it kind of like slides down a tiny bit and then just completely explodes. And a lot of people are saying that this is exactly what is happening in 2018. A lot of them are mentioning that the market looks exactly like 2013 and 2014 in that it completely slid sideways, which is where we are right now, for almost months at a time. And then out of nowhere, it just completely shot up. And I can't remember exactly what it's called. It's like this, like a moment of disbelief. I can't remember the exact term for it, but it's kind of that. We get to this point around here and everyone becomes euphoric, but then pessimistic again, because we know, the laws of gravity, things can't go up forever. They eventually slam back down. But then eventually there's some type of moonshot, if you will, when it comes to the prices. And this is what all the analysts keep saying, that this is exactly where we are right now. It's also interesting to notice that these major spikes that we see over here were literally this tiny bump and this, more or less larger bump right here. And then we have this entirely insane rocket. So this is just what the analysts are constantly pointing out. Bitcoin currently hovers around $6,500 on major exchanges, having reached recent lows of around $6,250, which sparked warnings from traders about a sell-off potentially taking prices below $5,000. Opinions on the future vary. Bitcoinist reported on a sub $5,000 most optimistic outlook by veteran trader Tone Vase. which contrasts with a prediction from cryptocurrency expert Philip Nunn, who this week reiterated his belief that Bitcoin will hit $60,000 this year. And this isn't unbelievable to think about it. Every single time that crypto has shot up, or Bitcoin in particular, there has been a 10x or a 20x in price. The fact that we're hovering around, we're at 67.44 right now, completely believable. When Bitcoin was around $50 and the US made that statement in 2012 or 13 or something like that, the price shot up to $1,200. That is a 20x. Bitcoin was $1,000 last year. It shot up to 20,000. That is also a 20x. I don't think, something remarkable has to happen to crypto this year for Bitcoin to go from 6,000 to 120,000. Like literally, like I can't even think of a scenario that would have to happen for us to get to that price. But to get to 60,000, if we get stuff from the SEC, if Coinbase finally gets it together, if we get proper rulings, if we know exactly if Ripple is a security or not, and we get proper blankets and covers, whatever institutional investors need for their comfort, I could definitely see the prices hitting 60,000, which would be remarkable. But like I always say, please make sure to note, nothing goes up forever. If Bitcoin hits 60,000 within around 3 or 4 months after, it is falling back down to 20,000. Every time Bitcoin has a huge jump up, it either goes to 1/5 or around 1/3 of its previous price. We hit 60,000. We hit 20,000, and this is why we're floating around this price right now. So keep that in mind. Don't hodl forever if it hits 60,000. If anything, swap into Tether or something like that. I don't know. Armstrong, meanwhile, told Coinbase staff to ignore any form of irrational exuberance or irrational pessimism. Continuing, he said reality is always somewhere in the middle, more correlated with real usage, transactions per day, than the price. Everyone keeps predicting it. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't share his sentiments. I don't exactly enjoy Bitcoin price lows. I was watching, hello if you're listening or watching, I was watching Alex Cobb yesterday, and he was talking about he just wants a bull run, and I sat there and I like clenched my fist. I was like, I know exactly what you mean. It feels like long gone are the days when we have some type of major shot anymore. Like, I'm sure you guys remember, we used to wake up in the morning, prices were up like 13, 14, 15%. We used to know, check it an hour and a half later, prices were down, it was negative 8%, but it was all how the market was. The fact that everything is constantly going sideways is like this nail biting thing that's happening every single day. I'm sure we'll get past it, obviously, eventually sometime in the future. But it just would be nice. I think we'd have a, nicer summer if every single day was constantly in green and it was all up 10, 15% every single day. But, this is the market we chose. This is just how life is. Next up, the Uruguayan Chamber of FinTech has announced the creation of a special committee for the development of crypto regulation framework called BN. Oh, sorry. This was reported by BN Americas. They reported this about a day or two ago. The committee will reportedly promote innovation in order to help strengthen and develop the country's financial system. This will include fighting against money laundering, terrorism, or drug trafficking, because we know that's all crypto is used for, as well as making the industry more transparent. While Uruguay has yet developed specific regulations and standards for digital currencies, the FinTech Chamber is inviting organizations, consultants, entrepreneurs, and government officials to collaborate on those. The Uruguayan Chamber of FinTech's former president and founder, Sebastián Oliveira, told BN Americas that regulatory proposals will pass through established institutional channels. He reportedly said that the chamber aims to attract investments and innovation in the local industry and continue promoting Uruguay as a regional technology hub. Not going to say what he said because it's pretty much what was kind of written right here. Not a country that you hear about very often. If you have any ties or know someone who is in this country and they are able to actually talk to the government about, a nice regulatory space for crypto, send them a message, send them a Facebook message, send them a tweet, whatever you have to do. I like when governments come forward and they talk about that they are actually looking for other people who actually know what they're talking about. to kind of help them create framework for it, because it's very dangerous if no one comes forward and then they end up making these rules and they have no idea what's going on. And then we kind of end up in this space in many countries where crypto regulation is literally something that was made for the 1870s because they have no idea what cryptocurrencies are or how they function. So like I said, I always like when we have news like this that countries admit that they don't know, aren't afraid to admit that they don't know, and then are actually looking for help, because we know many countries do not do that. They kind of make their own laws, and this is why we live in the world that we live in today. Last up, IOTA is in the news. There are a lot of spelling errors in this, so forgive me while I stumble over this. IOTA has revealed it is working on close to 20 projects which are going to be irresistible use cases once they are fully unveiled. While blockchain lovers have been complaining that the IOTA team is fond of concealing information on its latest development, the team has come out open on some projects. However, they are still not specific on the time the projects will come to light, and no details on the projects. Once the projects are fully unveiled, they will push for wide adoption of IOTA. The projects are Cubic. Cubic has apparently been the talk of the town. The project is referred to as a protocol that specifies IOTA solution for quorum-based computations, including such constructs as Oracle machines, outsourced computations, and smart contracts. Cubic has been a smart computing potential. It will make IOTA compete with Ethereum, which many complain has poor scalability and high transaction fees. This is like the 15th coin who's trying to compete with Ethereum. Isn't it kind of weird that every single coin now has their own smart contracts platform or something smart quorum based platform? And it's kind of weird that everyone's just trying to compete with Ethereum. Something called MAM Plus. It appears MAM has been on hold for some time now, but IOTA seems to not be giving up on this idea at all. Through MAM is not present under peer review. It is said to be a second layer data communication protocol, giving room to access an encrypted data stream like RSS or over the Tangle's IOTA distributed ledger, no matter the size of cost or device. Okay, I just realized there's 20 of these things. I'm not going to read through every single one of them. There's courteside, okay, auto peering, economic incentives, consensus spec, crypto spec, attack analysis, exchange hub, formerly known as IXI hub, enables exchanges to integrate IOTA in days or weeks instead of months. A month sounds like a long time. IRI, coup-free IRI, local snapshots in permanodes, C client, IOTA JS, just saying, Tangle scope, IOTA control agent, trinary hash function, protocol finalization, and thank goodness that is it. That's a lot of upgrades or projects that they're working on. It'll be interesting to see. I assume it'll take about 6 months to a year to get all of these things rolling, unless they're being worked on by about 300 different people. Very interesting to see how IOTA will be, or how it will have shaped up to be at the end of these 20 projects, because that is a lot to undertake for one coin. But like I said, I like IOTA, and I'm interested to see exactly where they go in the future. I think they have been smart thus far with the partnerships that they have, and it sounds like they are definitely trying to up their game, if you will, to make sure that their coin remains in the top positions in the market. Alrighty, everyone. That is definitely going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys are having a great day wherever you are, wherever you might be, whatever you might be doing. I hope it's amazing. Thank you once again for watching. Thank you once again for all the support. I do appreciate it. And I will talk to you all soon. See you.